Class of 2020 students, faculty, administration, coaches, parents, grandparents, and families. Good morning, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak with you today. I'm sure you all expect me to talk about the great things our class accomplished on the athletic field at Scott. And there are many great athletes, great teams, state championships, NSA Cup championships, and more. But I wanted to talk to you about change. Change in our lives, change in our world, and changes to come. The definition of change is the act of becoming different. Even the smallest of changes are hard things to deal with, and big changes can sometimes seem insurmountable. But I suggest to you that we should not fear change. Fear will make it difficult to pursue our goals, our loves, and our passions. As the class of 2020, we have all changed over the last 4 years at Scott Catholic. And we've also seen and been a part of so much change in our world. Many of these changes seemed hard to deal with at first, but in the end, they all turned out for the better. Let me give you some examples. Many of us were born in the year 2001, which was a time when our country had to deal with a massive change that occurred on September 11th of that year. Even though we were too young to remember it, nearly 3,000 people died that day when foreign hijackers committed murder-suicide in the skies over our country. This horrible day made the country realize that we needed a real change in our airport security. The change was very inconvenient at first, considering who likes to take off their shoes or get patted down in an airport. But in time, it all became second nature. By making this change, we can all feel safe and be safe when we fly. Another huge change that the world experienced in our lifetime was major progress in technology. When we were born, the internet was still shiny and new, but technology has come a long way since then. From payphones to bulky cell phones, and then to instantaneous ways of communicating with each other. We have smartphones and social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. But honestly, who really cares about TikTok? Anyway, these new platforms and devices helped us to communicate with each other much better and faster. Our parents may complain about it, and our grandparents don't always understand it, but those changes help us save time, meet new people, and expand our horizons in ways we could never do before. There have been so many other big changes in the world since we've been born, it's almost too hard to list them all. No more video stores, smoking ban in public places, self-driving cars, weather, and we've seen the first black man serve as president of the United States. All of these were stressful for people, or at least some of the people, but we made it through them, and life is better for it. And now we are faced with even more changes that we, the class of 2020, are very familiar with. First, COVID-19. This virus came out of nowhere and has killed almost 150,000 people in the United States alone. The changes COVID has caused hit the class of 2020 especially hard by stealing our senior year and taking away school, sports, and simply everything we previously thought of as normal in our lives. We have had to change our lifestyle so that we can be safe and keep others safe. We're making these difficult adjustments in the hopes that the virus can be controlled. But there are some good things coming from this. We're all being taught the importance of making sacrifices to keep ourselves and others safe. On the heels of COVID-19, there's another change called the Black Lives Matter movement. African Americans have been struggling with racial profiling for a very long time, and in some cases have even been killed due to excessive force by police. Since the deaths of George Floyd, this movement has picked up momentum and people's voices are starting to be heard. No one can control the color of their skin, and no one should be targeted for it. The Black Lives Matter movement is highlighting that. I ask that we all promote justice and initiate change by opening our eyes and ears to hear people's voices so that change can happen. Finally, for me and my fellow classmates in the Scott Catholic class of 2020, we're going through a change of our own. We're transitioning into a new environment, new people, and new everything. This would be a scary transition for most people, but I ask you, class of 2020, not to be afraid of this change. The world has endured many changes in our lifetimes. They were stressful, even painful, but in the end, this change has left us in a better world, a better country, and a better people. Today, as we become alumni and move forward on from Scott Catholic, I ask you to do it with an open mind, an open heart, and simply be you. By doing this, we will face every change head on, and I know that we'll be able to pursue our goals, our loves, and our passions to the fullest extent. Just like changes the world has seen, the change about to occur in our lives is going to be stressful, maybe even painful, but in the end, it will work out for the best. I would like to leave you off with the Bible verse from Joshua chapter 1, verse 9. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will with you wherever you go. Once a Skyhawk, always a Skyhawk. Thank you.
Excellent.